Hey guys, and welcome to A Cast of Salt. With you today is your wonderful host, Ben. Right here. That's me. I'm Ben.
Hello, Beanie.
Lovely
intro. How come you always get the best intros? You always intro yourself better than everyone else. What are you talking about?
I was just waiting for the flex pose and be like, it's been here. Swole Man McGee.
We have strangely flexing in the background, way in the background, Ben.
What up? Today's cast
Drinking.
is brought to you by This is Adam's Cup, which I am drinking from.
Yeah, it's my
Drinking
mug.
from Adam's cup.
You literally drinking out of my cup
It literally says,
bad.
do not drink out of this cup.
because it's mine, and you're fucking drinking out of it. Despite Thea's excellent work on that cup.
It tastes like victory in the
Ruin.
morning.
And sporting one of the best shirts I have seen. For those listening, it's just a Vegeta Evolution shirt. Adam, to my right.
What's up?
So how's everybody's previous weeks been? It's been a while since I've been on the cast, actually. I've missed the last two.
Yeah.
Adam's been holding down the fort. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Has he been doing a good job? Who knows?
You bust into the fort and I'm just dead with 6 below.
Like, oh, sorry about that, buddy.
You fucked that right up.
Better luck next time. Okay, let's start with Adam. How's your last couple of weeks been?
Yeah, it's been good, man. Been still playing a lot of Destiny when I get the time.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been good.
Ew.
It's been a good game. And our last podcast covered all that shit extensively.
Because
Because we ran out of
and World of
fucking
Warcraft.
news. We ran out of fucking
nothing,
news last week.
Nothing happened.
This is the worst thing when you leave. It's just like, hey, what are we going to talk about? We have nothing to talk about.
I would say we had a
We,
direct lineup and there was an
everything's
earthquake
gone.
got in the
And we're
way.
just like-
and
like,
ah.
never mind.
Cool. All right, going to talk about Destiny, motherfuckers. No.
And wow.
No, it's good. Also, still playing Octopath Traveler, man. I picked two of the most, longest ass games. Every time they're like, hey, Adam, what are you playing? I'm like, still Destiny, still
haven't changed.
Octopath.
Still.
Because, my God, those games are long.
My God, they take up all my life.
Yeah.
Oh, you can tell that I haven't been doing this for a little while because I forgot. Thank you for watching. And for those of you, please like and subscribe to our channel. Check out our other stuff on YouTube. Jump onto Discord. We have all the wonderful conversations. Ben's probably going to post Batman's dick on there at some point.
Hey,
There's a lot of
look,
Batman dick going around.
I would say
It's not actually the image from the comics that came out either. It's just pictures from Rule 34. It's just his dick.
in my
fan
defense,
fiction.
that Reddit link from yesterday was on topic, and you should have known better.
Fucking- You posted porn in there, man.
I did not.
Straight
I
up porn.
I posted a link which then went to porn. It wasn't porn. You chose
is
the
there,
link.
Is there a difference?
I mean, I clicked on it, and that wasn't the worst thing that happened to me. I was like, okay.
I'm still at work. Maybe I shouldn't have clicked
No,
on
I
this.
was at home, thank
Close.
I would also that is the first unsafe link I have posted in months.
In a long
I spent time building
Hence
up
why-
your trust to
hence
smash
why-
it.
Hence why I fell for it.
Yeah, you're just like, he's been
Hey,
reasonable.
what does
with it.
porg mean? Oh, fuck.
Oops. Okay. All right. Well, Ben.
I've been playing Bayonetta. Holy shit, that game's great.
On
and
Switch?
Amazing. On Switch. I mean, you can also get it on 360 and the Wii U.
So is this the second?
No, I've just been playing the first one at the
original?
moment. So
Yeah.
I don't, as you guys know, I have serious commitment issues when it comes to video games and most of life.
You could have just
I
ended
was
that
just
scene
saying-
like halfway through that one. You'd be fine.
And this is the first game where I'm like, nah.
I'm committed.
I want to try and 100% these missions. Which led to a funny screenshot yesterday. So the 100% completion for a mission requires no damage on your character. And then, so I beat it, right? And I got the trophy for it. And
Your
then
platinum trophy.
the damage said you had taken 2 hits of damage. And I'm like, but
How?
I didn't get hit.
Tell me how.
What the fuck, Platinum? Come on. But hey, still counts. Still good. Otherwise, I've got a entertaining evening planned where I'm going to indoctrinate someone into the house of multiplayer Switch games. So we'll see how that goes down.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. So for
How
me,
you been doing?
Carl would love this. I've been playing Hyperlight Drifter.
Oh, that game's great. That game's fucking good.
I am enjoying it.
Where are you playing this? Because I have it on PC.
I have it on 360.
Oh.
Not 360. So
Xbox One.
It's also
One.
on Switch.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
Yeah.
everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's
Awesome.
really good.
It was
You should
like
play it.
$8.
Yeah.
Really?
It was pretty cheap.
Do yourself a favor. If you got an Xbox, fucking buy that game.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, get it.
It's
Like,
probably about the same on the other platforms
it's
as well.
literally, except for Switch, it's literally on every platform.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
buy the goddamn. It's like Fury. You need Fury in your life as much as you need Hyper Life.
I'll
Is
probably get
Fury
Fury
on Xbox? It is on
it would
Xbox.
be.
I
It would
fucking
be.
play it on Xbox. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
I was
by
like,
the way,
wait, wasn't that a PS4? No, it's not. I own that game.
it was
I'm
a
an
4
idiot.
exclusive
The
for a little while.
only-
But then it came out.
The single game that I've only ever been disappointed is exclusive on any console is the new Spider-Man game.
I know.
I was like, why? Why make it only PlayStation?
I would say-
Why ruin my
Why
fucking
would you
life,
do this
Sony?
to me?
Why?
Hey,
Insomniac, please stop killing me.
As the only person with the PlayStation in the room, I haven't even brought the game.
Oh.
How does that make you feel?
I'm gonna get. My brother has the game. He has a PlayStation. I'm gonna get both off of him just to play that game.
Yeah, I'm gonna tag it off him. I would say, hey, dude, you missed out on my, like, I spent like a solid 2 weeks of how I can fuck with Adam and the Spider-Man game. I'm like,
I mean, I
is it
got
better-
mates I'm sure I can just
well,
roll to
you are not
borrow
the
their
only
PS4.
person.
no. So I was like, is it better if I buy it and don't play it, or do I buy it for him so he can't play it, or do I don't buy it, or do I buy a copy of it and use it as a coffee coaster
Just
around
like
his house?
Frisbee it.
Just, I was just, the possibilities were endless.
Endless. Just-
And then I realized that $80 is too much to be petty.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I was-
fair.
That's a lot of petty cash being thrown around.
I would say it was tempting. I'm just
That's
gonna
a good fucking joke.
That
Don't
was
laugh at that joke.
Honestly, that was well played. I hate puns.
I did too, but
I
I
would
thought
say,
that was well done.
Ben, you're no longer welcome in this house. Get out. So, you've been playing anything else other than Light Drifters?
HLD. Still Overwatch. I've kind of dropped rank quite a fair bit.
Is it because you suck?
No,
Yeah.
it's because he's not spending 20 out of his 24 hours of Earth Alive per day playing Overwatch.
Well, why
That's
not?
what you need to do to gain rank now.
Crazy. And then
People are good.
A lot of luck as well, because especially if you're solo, what's it
I'm
called?
not playing with you garbage motherfuckers.
Solo queuing, you get mixed bag of teams. It's all over the place.
I'm going to tangent off that for a second. Have you guys noticed that in your other competitive games where the skill level this year has gone up? Like, I've been noticing in Hearthstone lately. So normally you reach rank 5, which is like best results, least effort would be the easiest way to describe it. And normally that's a breeze, as in you just stroll in, settle down, you're comfortable. What is the one below platinum for like League of Legends?
Gold. Oh,
Yeah.
League? I don't know.
Gold,
Oh,
right?
Yeah, so let's just
probably
assume
gold.
it's
Or
like
diamond
gold.
or something.
Yeah.
It's
So
gold. It's
diamond, platinum, gold.
yeah. It's like it's fine. It's not the best, but you know you don't feel ashamed saying yeah I'm this rank. This month and last month and the month before, it's been a struggle.
Well, the thing is, I feel that like with a lot of the games, especially the games that we've been playing that have been out for a little while and they've gotten a more established player base, like there's times where you've got a wide range of people and like, because everyone's into it, and then you're basically smashing people if you play it a lot and you want to get into the competitive side. And then there'll be the next phase where it will shrink and a lot of the people just kind of mucking around in it will go. So your bottom tier matches are still going to be challenging. And then it shrinks further. Like Overwatch has been out for a few years now. The people that are core playing Overwatch consistently are people that have played it all the time and that is their game. So every match becomes difficult.
Well,
every match becomes
it's-
something you have to fight for.
It's odd as well because, like I said, you do get a mixed bag. And they'll be in the same.
Everyone's good except for the fuckers on my team.
no.
Damn it, Hanzo.
They'll be the same tier. I'll still be in top gold or low platinum or something.
Yeah.
And my team will just absolutely trounce the other team, and then 2 games later we get trounced. Like it's And sometimes, and you get the people that are smurfing and whatnot, the way they have a challenger account, and then they're just like, oh, I'm going to create this other account to be in gold and play around a little bit. And
See, I love it that now we can smurf in FPSs? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I remember smurfing when it was like,
Also,
yes,
this
I'm a
is-
level 20 in RuneScape.
This is also smurfing on console as well, which is a new fucking
Like-
new territory we're breaching
New
into.
inception.
breaking new ground.
That shit did not happen before.
Yeah, so like that those are all the sort of variables that come into play. The only time you'll get a consistent sort of experience is if you yourself have a group of 5 friends
Core players.
and you go, we play together all the time, like, and you will progressively get better or whatever. But that's when your team will be consistent. Whereas solo
like-
queuing or even 2 or 3 people queuing, you'll get like it's hit and miss.
A
You're like,
team
why are
is
5 of you fuckers going as Genji? Stop, please, stop.
Remember very early on when you could do that, where it's just like everybody plays the same character. No, they very
was
quickly,
hilarious.
very quickly would
They
like
shut
shut
that
that
shit
shit down.
down
It's just like
immediately.
Move that to the
No.
arcade mode, please.
even in the arcade mode, there's only one mode where you can do that.
And it's like Team Zarya is hilarious. Would recommend.
But yeah, so
Yeah,
It's-
I would say just longevity increases competition, I guess.
and the good thing about it, and I know we've probably talked about this before, is the meta constantly changes. Like they introduce new characters, they switch up different characters. So one of the not recent switch ups, but maybe a couple of months back, they switched up Symmetra, and she was one of my mains, and I just can't play her anymore.
Yeah.
They reworked her. I was just like, this is useless to me now.
Smash is going into the fucking bin.
So, but the good thing about that is it's forced me to find other characters to play. Like I previously would never play a tank. I've got like 2 tanks that I play pretty consistently
Cool.
now. So it's good fun.
I always keep
Staying
thinking,
relevant.
man, I should go back and pick up Overwatch again because, like, I haven't played. I literally last time I played, you could pick characters, like multiple characters.
Yeah,
the
same
same character
other
for multiple
character,
people.
I'm pretty
Like,
sure
I haven't
that,
played in fucking
I was going to say, wasn't that when we were
ages.
playing together? Anyway.
Yeah,
Potentially, it was
when we played
fucking-
that one time on the
Oh,
channel.
Lord.
That was fun.
Oh no, it was later than that.
It was after that.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, be careful though. It is a massive time sink, like
Yeah.
any other game these days.
See, the
Anyway,
worst, the
sorry.
worst thing is, I hated how we're all on different. Well, you guys share a platform,
We do.
but like, and then
Don't play the same games.
We
It's
don't
been a
play the
while.
same
It's been a
game.
while
We
since
don't
we
play
played
the
I
the
would
same games.
say I'm on a different platform and play similar games, and then Carl's on a third separate platform and plays completely.
And nobody knows what Ryan does. Ryan's
Right.
just TF2.
Ryan
It's just that's it. It doesn't matter the platform. It's just TF2.
Sing
End
me
of
on TF2,
story.
bro.
How did you get TF2 running on a Vita? But on the console topic, so after I get settled down after the move, I might look at getting a cheap house Xbox One and trounce you guys at Monster Hunter Worlds because
I was thinking about getting Monster Hunter.
Well,
That was
okay,
one of
so the thing is,
options.
I've been playing it for a little bit, but I stopped playing it a while ago because I just got busy with other games, and I haven't played in ages, so my character's still pretty lowly ranked. If you guys get on Xbox One, you can
Like,
do some
for
shit.
I would say
It's fun. It's a good game. It's very fun.
Monster Hunter Worlds is my jam.
very
Was my
fun.
jam. I kind of moved on with my
You
life.
moved on.
Well, they're having an autumn festival on at the moment, and I'm just like, maybe I go back now for a little bit.
Okay, we've been talking us for
Yeah.
quite a bit of time now. It sounded like you had one more thing.
One more
I will.
thing.
I will allow
I want
this.
One more thing. Tying
Allow
back
it.
to Spider-Man. Have you guys seen the Spider-Man PlayStation 4?
No.
No.
There's a specific version.
Yeah,
Of it, yeah.
Adam, pull it up.
Adam
It's
reaches
beautiful.
across the
Just
computer.
casually. Tack, 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 tack.
Spider-Man PS4 console. See, if I wasn't moving, this would be your Christmas present, Adam.
I mean,
Why,
you can still buy it for me for Christmas.
No,
I
no,
mean,
Oh, I
that's-
have seen this. No, I fucking have seen this.
Look at this.
It looks beautiful.
That's pretty.
It looks so
Majestic.
beautiful.
That is very pretty.
Look at that shit.
That
I would
is
literally
so cool.
buy this, and Spider-Man 4 would be the only game I
Or-
fucking
or
have
just,
on it.
No, you never play Spider like any console. Like you don't actually play any PlayStation 4 games. You just put the console there, just
And
for
lick
display,
it.
just for display purposes.
That's awesome.
And that's probably one of my favorite Spider-Man symbols as well.
I like that one.
But yeah, the reason I haven't brought it for you is because, my God, it's like a quarter of a down payment. What is it? When the pre-rent stuff for a house? Bond. It's like a quarter of a bond. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's $500.
and I'm like,
not,
ah,
cheap.
Not cheap.
nah.
Shit
And plus,
ain't cheap.
my sister would literally eviscerate me. Can you imagine Leah's
It's like, why would you give this man another console?
Like, can you imagine Leah's face? He has 4 already!
Why would you give him another reason to play more games?
Then what
What is wrong with you, man?
Plain. That's great.
Okay. Okay, I think
See,
we're good.
that was a good 10.
That was.
You have to- you have to let
I'm
me-
glad I allowed that. So to finally get into the swing of things, like 15 or 20 minutes into this podcast, our first topic for the day: Nintendo Online.
Oh, I thought we were going to be like, Batman's penis.
I mean, we
No.
can save a good 10 minutes for that.
Veto.
Ben will talk about that non-stop, but no Batman's
I'll
penis.
stop the podcast and be like, okay, so we're going to talk about Batman's penis now. And it's like, the mic's not on.
And you're just like, Ben's just doing hand gestures and...
So we're going to stop.
So trim.
So who wants to fill me in on the whole situation? Because I've been quite oblivious to the whole Nintendo.
You got to give Nintendo money to
Online.
play online now. Boom, there you go.
Boo.
Story.
So basically, Xbox and PlayStation
Yes,
and what everyone
yes,
else is doing.
yes.
Nintendo's
But-
like, we'll finally get on top
Yes.
of that.
Surprisingly more efficient and gives, pardon me, a bit other benefits as well.
So, yeah, sorry, Ben, you continue.
So it's for one user, it's about $30 per year. You get access to a library of NES games, which have all been modified to be online compatible.
Sweet,
So you can play stuff like River City Ransom across the internet with your buddies.
sweet.
So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
significantly cheaper than Xbox at least.
Well-
and
And
PlayStation as well. It's a fair price.
Yeah.
I would say also
So far.
incidentally, if you have a family account, it's about $30 for 3 years if you have 6 or more people on the one account.
And you can just chuck
Yep.
people on there. Okay, so the thing is, I'm guessing there's a terms and conditions somewhere because otherwise everyone would be on family accounts, right?
Nope.
There's no terms and
The
conditions.
way we're using it is perfectly legitimate.
So you can just be like, I'm getting a family account and this is my
This
brother.
is my family.
Clearly.
We are family
We
here.
I would
Welcome
say,
to the ABOS family.
Yeah, man.
well, we
Family's a very loose term, man.
I would say we already have like a Team Ben family account set up. So
Okay.
added Adam to that the other day.
Sweet. Want some on my Switch?
Well, if we're not up to 8 people,
Eight.
I think we're riding at 6 or 7 now.
Okay.
So.
Time's limited.
How many people is on an account?
8? Who was just
8.
8 to
Okay.
8 to an
Yep.
account. That's
Also,
really good.
yeah.
Otherwise, I pay $30
Jesus.
for my own.
And $30 a year, whatever.
I would
So
say,
what?
or the other thing is, you buy yourself a family account
And get 8 more
then
people.
just jump people on.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, when it's $30 for 3 years, split across
Sweet.
like 6 people, you're like, yeah,
Is there any drawback to having a family account then?
yes.
Okay.
You have to trust one person.
To pay
Oh,
$30
dude, that's like my
Um,
that's like my Netflix
No, no.
subscription. Everybody
You-
uses my Netflix subscription.
And you have to trust one person not to screw over everyone else by marking them as children, for example, which
Oh, right.
restricts
Like
them
restricts
from mature
content.
content.
Ah, okay.
And you also have to trust them not to
So
put supervised hours in on the console, so you can mark it so people can't play a console between certain times.
that's okay. I'm gonna be honest. I like that. I like
That's
that
actually really good
for
feature for
a
kids,
Family,
actually-
no,
legitimately.
family.
It's
sort of
proper-
scenario.
I
It's-
don't know how many times, like, okay, I'm probably not going to be the general family consumer, but, like, I'm like, I have a Switch, and so does my kids. They have their own Switches as well.
Yeah.
Potentially, but
Like,
that's
unlikely.
That's
It would
unlikely,
be
right?
one console in my house. Hey kids, go play.
Yeah.
As opposed
Well,
to
I
we
would
all
say-
have our Switches, but the fact that it's a handheld as well.
The-
is
Yeah,
Maybe,
like I said,
maybe,
with the
maybe.
Switch, you'd probably like.
You probably could.
realistically, you'd have like 2 at max.
Yeah.
Which is one's my Switch with, sexy phone time games on it.
But
Kids can't play that one.
that's the adults only one. But realistically, I don't think I've ever seen any other console or anyone do that, right? Where
No, it's on Xbox One.
The
as
Xbox
well.
has similar
yeah.
And
features.
it's on, I believe
Not
it's
so
on-
much in supervised hours, but they do have rating systems that you can't play certain games based
Okay.
on their ratings.
oh well, I was never aware of that, but I think that's a really good thing.
And you can also
Like-
disable stuff like voice chat, I think, as well, and say, like, they can't.
Oh,
Yep.
thank
And,
Yeah, exactly. Be like, they can't go on voice chat.
and
because,
also by default, crossplay is disabled
on
on Switch.
on children games on Xbox One
Oh,
because those people on computers are scary, yo.
they are. They're fucking animals, all of them. All of these
those
Steam
PC
users.
gamers, horrible people. The things like they can say because they have a keyboard.
Oh yeah.
They can write so much faster.
They will
But-
send you private messages that will
I would say,
make a
but
grown
that-
man cry.
But that's just like the first level stuff on the Switch Online. We've talked about that before.
I'm kind of interested to also see how many the new games they've got on there because apparently there's not too many games on there.
I've
at
got
the
it on my
moment.
Switch. Wait, did we add you? You can check it out yourself.
I haven't turned my Switch on.
Oh, Jesus
in a couple
Christ,
days.
Adam. All right, so jumping over to what I actually want to talk about. So, Switch Online released earlier this week. Like, within 24 hours, someone has worked out how to sideload games into the online NES player.
Yeah, like insert games into the live
As
game. You're
in-
like, cool.
Like, not like, you know, wake up, oh, Nintendo Switch Online's out, buy it, set up all this account stuff, go to bed, wake up the next morning, Nintendo Switch Online has been hacked already.
So what's the scope of this? Like they've been putting games on their console through the thing, or
TLDR, let's bring it back down to the super basic level. So the NES library is a emulator with online functionality added in.
right.
Pretty straightforward. This means if you grab one of the packages for the NES game, you can inject your own game into it.
Right, okay. So you can
okay.
download ROMs
Like,
online,
here's a ROM.
inject it in.
Like there's a
And play
lot
on
of
Switch.
there's a lot of pre-work required for it.
Right.
Thankfully, Nintendo has actually built in an addressing system for this, where they have what is it called, sanity checks
Sanity check.
Sanity checks.
every so often running on it. So
And it's like, hey, something's not right here.
you're like, wait, this is Battletoads. Nope. So,
All right, so then they remove.
Yeah.
They ban that console,
Okay.
don't they?
Yep.
So like again, don't go do this.
Don't do this. It's a
Because
fun
it-
science experiment.
So the
But
fact
you
that
fucking
the
switch up.
fact that okay, so this is really cool. I'm really liking what Nintendo has done here because I feel like they've put something in place. They could have spent more months more to go. Let's lock this shit down so that no one can hack it, and but then it wouldn't be released till like mid next year, and then come mid next year, like a week later, someone hacks it anyway. But instead
Take them 2 weeks instead of 1 day.
But instead of doing that, they've set up the basics of it and just gone, here you go. It's ready for you to consume. Play to your
We're
heart's
trusting
content.
you will be good with this.
They're trusting, but they're also monitoring. They're going, if you do choose to hack it, we will know pretty quickly, and then we can address it. So we're not going to stop everyone else from playing or they're enjoying it. But then when someone does something stupid, at least we can then deal with it. So like that's such a better approach to getting to a good place and giving their customers something to consume.
You say that, but that's for one level. That's for the NES emulation specifically. Whereas in Splatoon 2, the hacking runs rampant and nothing has been done.
How
What are you
how
hacking in
how do you
Splatoon 2?
fucking hack Splatoon
Okay.
2?
Wow. Excuse me. Let me get... Where is my hacker hat and glasses? I need a Nintendo Power Glove. So we're going to step back a bit. We'll go from more general, how do you hack the Switch?
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. So the Tegra chip on the Switch has a firmware level issue, basically.
Oh, this was the Gen 1 Switch chip vulnerability,
It
right?
still persists now, and like basically, I'm pretty sure when they start releasing the next generation of Switches, meaning like the Let's Go Eevee ones and the Smash Brothers ones.
Fucking side tangent. You showed me those the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee Smash. Fuck, that looks nice. That looks so cute and beautiful.
The good news
God
is
damn.
you
The
can
color was just
It's so good.
nice color.
you can buy the dock and the Joy-Cons separately in Japan. I know I'll be importing one because I've needed a second Nintendo Switch dock, and I don't want to pay a ridiculous price for the retail one.
I actually consider getting a Switch dock solely so I can just plug it into my TV outside and
still
and
play.
stream it and stream from in here and without having to fucking change cables
Move
around.
everything
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
I was like,
I'm
how expensive is the dock by itself?
No, it's not worth they're like $80. It's not worth it. But when you get the Eevee one,
It
is
instantly
worth it.
becomes worth it.
yes,
That's
because
true.
it also comes with Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
So which will probably be like what 100 and 120 kind of stuff. But yeah, Adam's
Keep
face.
me in when you do that, because someone
yeah,
I
I
might tack an extra thing on your order there.
Yeah, because the way I'll have it set up is TV and stream room. So
Yeah.
and then I don't want to have to recable my Switch. I just want to go.
You should
Tonk.
You should see the fucking. Well, you guys can see it. The fucking cables on my
It's a
desk, mate.
nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
I
It's
would
so
say,
bad.
look, as someone who handles like
my
top
God.
work health safety stuff with cables all the time, I'm vomiting in my mouth. All right,
It's not good.
rolling back, switch hacking. So, for your technical people out there, they did not set a command limit on the CPU for in the initial boot phase.
Right.
So what that means is you can sideload arbitrary commands to run on boot.
Right. Okay.
So,
So it's an easy injection.
it's
vector.
well easy technically, practically no, but it's easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then once you do that, you have root level access to the device. You can put Linux on there. You can still run like Nintendo OS on a separate partition. Blah,
Oh,
blah.
so you can dual boot it and everything.
You can dual boot your Switch.
Jesus Christ.
And with that, you get access to your saves. Now, there is no online verification for Splatoon
Right.
because they go, well...
they thought, the hardware's gonna verify. It'll be fine.
Well, like with PC stuff, you need it. People have root access, but Splatoon doesn't have
Yeah.
that. So, incidentally, this ties in full loop to the cloud saves debacle we were talking about a fortnight ago. Did we talk about that? Did you guys hear about this?
No.
Okay, cool. Another Switch tangent. So now you got how you hack Splatoon.
Yeah.
Cloud saves will not be enabled for certain Switch games.
Oh, I did hear about that. We
So-
didn't talk about it on the podcast, but I did hear about this.
So Splatoon 2 is one of them.
Yeah.
Because they feel that cloud saves will allow people to more easily hack their device.
And I was like, that's the opposite of that, right? Like, having local access to shit is generally how you hack things.
So
Like, that's the easiest way to have physical access to
what
things.
what this highlights is that there's no online verification of save data or letterboards,
Okay.
which ties back into the Splatoon 2 hacking being you can modify the data that they save to your thing with your rank.
Yeah,
And
if you already
just-
have root access to the device,
You
then-
just-
You just modify it, and then when you jump online, it
Modify
sends
your
it to
save
someone else's, and
And be like, oh yes, I am a. Right, so
okay.
TLDR, Switch Online, not bad. I'm reasonably happy with it. I haven't tested out the proper online functionality or the crappy voice app, but
Yeah, that voice app's garbage. That's hot fucking shit.
what I am looking forward to, and this sounds dumb, is the 10% off eShop purchases and the 30% off stuff on sale.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking
I'm
good.
like-
That sounds good.
That was-
like that
say-
is
I'll probably save $30.
Yeah.
that-
like a year.
Yeah, and,
doing
and that's a solid benefit. So similarly for me, the only other games I ever buy on Xbox now are the ones that come with games with gold. Like I don't buy them because they're free. So those are the only other games I download, I should say. I have not bought a game for ages now, except from Hyper Light Drifter, which was like
Which
$8.
is also, I've been telling you to buy that game forever.
You've been telling me a lot of things for a long time. my friend.
Yeah, see, I just want you to know that when I suggest an indie game, chances are you'll like it.
I don't doubt you. I don't doubt you for a second. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna go out and buy it on a drop of the.
Like, for
the second you tell me to.
After this, I'm gonna show you the first level of the messenger.
You showed me.
It's actually really fun. I played this since like been fucking love
No,
this
what was
game.
the
I
other
know
one
what
that
you're
you showed
saying.
me recently?
You will cream
Dead
yourself.
Cells.
Dead
And I was
Cells.
just like, ooh.
No, this is like
yeah,
this
no,
is your define. The messenger is something that I was
It's
like,
for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see, I brought it, I played a bit, and I
straight up
shot you a
it's like
message.
pretty much straight up
Yeah, you
ninja
did tell me
And
game.
I
about
was
it.
like,
You did tell me
fucking
about it.
Ben, what are you playing?
It's
because
really
I
fun.
think you should drop what you're doing.
Yeah, and that's when I told you I was playing Hyper Light Drifter. You're like, that's a great game, but play this too.
I'm like,
Good.
not gonna stop you.
Okay. So to kind of wrap up the Nintendo Online conversation, so it did get hacked, and that's fine and all. But do we expect that Nintendo will actually deal with it in any sort of timely fashion, or does it matter that much? But because what you were just saying then is that when someone adds a bootleg game,
So,
it
yeah.
gets banned altogether.
Yeah, so realistically, you get banned from the service when they detect
Oh,
something.
you
Yeah.
get banned from the service.
Your console
okay.
gets banned
so,
from the
okay,
service.
So that's okay, because screw you for screwing around with the system.
I mean, they're going to protect the system.
Yeah.
See, but again, that's only one vector. We're talking about the NES. Like, so it's an app.
Yeah, it is one thing, yeah. But I
But-
imagine if they're applying it to one thing,
That's
they'd
going to be the
able to
punishment
apply
of
it
detecting any
to-
form of tampering of the device.
We can pull up a Twitter post on someone who's hacked the letterboards in Splatoon 2 saying, Nintendo,
you're really...
please fix the hacking.
He's really hung up on the Splatoon 2.
It's
Who hurt you, Ben?
I would say,
like the thing is though, like that's definitely on a game level, but I feel that
on
like,
a console level.
the
or
thing
on
is,
a
in their
system
mind,
level.
in their business mind, they'll be like, okay, cool. Well, someone's fucking around in Splatoon 2.
but see, the trouble is,
So then they're not losing money. You've still bought a console and bought Splatoon 2.
I would say, Splatoon 2 is, until we get Smash Brothers,
the go-to.
is your competitive game. Pardon me, on the console.
Yeah. The
Like,
thing is that
Yeah. But again, it comes down like to your point around the business value of it. It comes down to their business priorities. It's like, where do we want to spend money in order to make money?
and the issue is that if you're injecting NES games, they're going to be like, we were going to release that NES game like in 6 months'
and
time.
like we had specific plans around that and marketing and all of that.
I would
because
say-
you've injected a fucking ROM that's going to
Come on.
undercut our business.
Like, if they were going to release Holy Diver, please, I need it.
But yeah,
I need it legally. I don't want to spend $300 on a cartridge.
Yeah, I know.
Have I shown you Holy Diver, Ben?
You just
I
got a
saw
problem
a
with like
screenshot of
arcane
it.
games that cost way too fucking
Yeah,
much
you're like-
money.
No, I think you want it because they're so difficult to get, rather
Well,
than the fact.
no, I want Holy Diver is like Dio themed Castlevania.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
if you say so.
It's
he wants what he can't have. That's Ben's thing.
and then I don't know what I got till it's gone.
Yeah. Anywho, I think we've talked that topic well enough. The second topic we were going to talk about,
Batman's dick.
The fucking nostalgia shit, man.
please stop with
Going
Batman's dick.
from NES to the PlayStation Mini.
Yes. So, I think it was funny because we these topics that we talk about, it's not just like, oh, let's talk about this. We've never talked about this. Let's just talk about it on the channel. We do a fair bit of conversation leading up to it.
Yeah.
So we tend to retread
We actually give a fuck about what we're talking about.
It's
So,
like it's the
believe it or
loot
not.
box thing all over again, where we're bitching about loot boxes. Something happened, and we're like,
Like-
"Well, we're back on this train again, boys."
So
I got
if-
sick of
if
that
you
shit.
jump onto our Discord, chances are you'll get a sneak peek of what we're going to talk about because we're probably
You
already
just see
talking
in our
about it on
brains.
Discord.
I bet this is Ben. Jesus Christ, Ben is getting really amped up about this. You just like sit down next podcast and go, yep,
that's what's coming. Anyway, so we have been talking about the new release of the soon to be released PlayStation 1 Mini?
Classic.
Oh, classic, they call it.
Well, I was gonna say just call it the
Mini? I thought
What-
I called it Mini.
I have no.
I
idea.
think it's PlayStation
Well,
Classic.
wouldn't they
Classic
get
shit.
into like a tiff with Nintendo, like
If they call
your
it a Mini.
retro console's called a Mini?
Anyway, the one person, and before we actually get into it and what it is and how, the one person I was like, they're gonna love this, was gonna be Ryan. We posted about it. Ryan's just like, fuck this! No! This sucks!
Wait,
I
no,
don't
no.
want this!
That
To be-
wasn't his exact terms. It was, I've already got the systems that cater for this.
He already has everything.
He has multiple PS1s, multiple PS2s, and a PS3. He was just like, why? Why would I go spend X number of dollars for what I already have?
But he did make a good point, which is several PS1 games run at different resolutions. And if they perfect the emulation of those games, several of them, which were listed on the like 5 games there, he was like, yeah, I might get it for
I'd
that
consider
and that.
it. Yeah.
But once again, this points out who these devices are targeted to. It's people like you and you.
Yeah.
Not me, because I have my PlayStation 1.
Exactly, and
I
Ryan,
have my
and Ryan-
PS3.
and Ri- like you
Yeah.
guys have your shit hooked up already. You're definitely
You're
not
set.
the target market. Your target market is people that be like, "Hey,
I
I grew up with those
yeah.
games, and I'd really like to play them." And to be honest, like you can get a lot of those games. So this is my kind of thought around it: is PlayStation. A lot of the games released and that will be released mainly aren't first-party titles. So I was really excited for the SNES Mini because I was like, well, I actually didn't have one growing up. I've played some of those games, but I could play more games. I could play Final Fantasy VI without having to use a really shitty emulator. Like,
Hey,
that's
you
cool.
take that back about SNES 9.
It wasn't. Man, for some reason, it could never work my
SNES.
fucking
I
machine.
would say I don't know what it is with you and Carl,
It just
but you
broke
guys
every
can't
time.
emulate to save
I-
your
it
goddamn
I was like, I don't
life.
know.
How do you struggle with
My
the emulators?
fucking-
I've never had an issue with
Yeah,
the
no.
emulator. It's like, download ZSNES, download all the ROMs for it.
I'd say-
No,
into this folder
when I had
and play.
when I had my Alienware, 100% all good. When I got my Surface, just never ran correctly.
Yeah, well, okay,
Never
there's the
fucking ran
problem.
correctly.
Kids don't buy Surfaces.
Also, Carl had a fucking Surface book, so maybe
that's
that's
the
a common
problem.
He doesn't
thread.
emulate on the Surface. He does it on the Monster.
On his
Anyway,
PC.
on
I don't know, which is always a
Oh.
problem.
Anyway.
But I was like, cool, we can play games there, it'll look good.
Dude, I've emulated so much and never even considered that they would be difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
I don't know. Like that's what I was like going on forums and people were like, just play it and play, it'll be fine.
It's
I'm like,
so
I don't know.
easy.
I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I can't download this thing and play a game. It was insane.
You can
That was
literally
insanity.
get emulators of Game Boy Advance games onto your phone without any issues.
Okay.
Like,
we
I'm
gotta
gross.
get back
I'm
to
fucking
the
gross
SNES
about
Mini.
this.
Anyway, so the
No.
SNES Mini,
PlayStation.
the SNES Mini, like I could see where that was. I was like, yes, this has got some cool games on it. It's got some really iconic games as well. Great, I'm super excited, and a lot of them first-party titles as well, or maybe some things with Capcom or
The important thing you're missing about the SNES Mini is the price of the individual game of the SNES Mini. If you buy the cartridge,
expensive as
is
fuck.
worth about the same as the SNES Mini.
really
Yeah.
expensive.
So it had that huge, like, well,
Value
I
to
hate
it.
to say ROI, but yeah, it's got a return of
it's
investment.
an easy way to play those games.
Yeah.
Whereas PlayStation games aren't that pricey.
And yeah,
Except for Final Fantasy VII, but that's on literally every platform imaginable.
exactly. I have that on. I actually have. See that's the one game I actually have a really good
like a
Yeah,
legitimate copy for it.
physical copy of. I
And then
will
you-
never sell it. I'll take that to my fucking
Oh,
grave.
it's and so it's on. I'm pretty sure it's on PS3. It's coming out on Switch. It's
I've
on
got-
Steam.
I've got it on
Already.
Steam.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if it's not on Xbox somewhere at some
It's
point.
not on
No.
Xbox. No, the remaster I think is coming. The remaster's coming. On Xbox,
Yeah.
so
Well, if the remaster
ever comes out,
man.
if it ever comes out,
One
But-
day.
so-
One day, Adam.
I'm waiting.
But
know-
yeah,
yeah.
so it hits up that
me up.
nostalgia factor because I know more people who are nostalgic for like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro
Really?
and Tekken than the SNES.
Yeah.
Like that's the. How old are you, Adam?
28.
Yeah, 20. That's the 3-year difference between us.
That is true. That's very true.
Where
That's like
my generation, like my sub generation of our generation, had the PlayStation and not the SNES.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just a
so
couple
like
of
my,
years
my
difference.
thing. My
Yeah.
thing that I always go to is the Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah,
That's Genesis or whatever.
which is like
BS.
1 year before
Yeah,
the
it's a
SNES,
little
like,
bit
on that-
earlier.
but it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Where
It
that's,
makes all the difference.
and look, depending on what's on the PlayStation Mini, I might get it. Hell, I might not because I can literally throw a CD in my computer, hit burn, and then put that in the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm interested to like I'm not sure. The issue I have with this as well is that it's like this is they announced it as 100 US and they've just released for Australia 150 bucks. That's like to me like I'm pretty sure my SNES Mini Australian was I think it
60
wouldn't have
bucks.
been more than 70 bucks. I think it was 60 or 70 bucks. And I think the retail price in US was like 40 US.
See, it's
And-
very cheap.
And the NES, because it was this thing they didn't actually expect to be any
And
good
popular.
and very popular, they priced that at 80
Yeah.
US. Like 100 US, 150 Australian. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Like for an emulator collectible.
Like with a HDMI port. Like
that's-
that's two AAA games.
Yeah.
Or-
That's
or
two.
like-
That's two.
2.5
One-
if you 2.5 if you sweet talk people.
Well, yeah. Go JB Hi-Fi. You get deals.
You'll get some solid deals
Be
there.
like, I don't know, man. Here, I
Please, sir, can I have some more? Some more.
the other problem. The other problem I have with the PlayStation Classic / Mini, whatever we're calling it at the moment, is if you notice, it had the original PlayStation controllers on it. It
Yeah, it
doesn't
did.
have
Not a fan.
DualShocks.
It does not have DualShock at all, which is
which
interesting.
severely limits the games you can put on that thing.
Yeah, because because I had a PlayStation 1 as well growing up, and I had a I had one of the original controllers, and then I had to buy a DualShock controller halfway through because the games were like DualShock only, DualShock required.
Yeah.
So what games are you putting on it? So like a lot of games you couldn't play. So that immediately limits what you can put on the PlayStation Classic.
Having said that, the most important game is still playable with a classic controller.
Which is
Final Fantasy VII. Good call.
Tekken 3.
Tekken 3. I fucking love Tekken 3 when I was playing it as a
Suck
kid.
my dick. Tekken 3 is amazing.
Tekken 3 is fantastic. It's a really good game.
Tekken is
That was
probably,
one of my first games that I actually had on PlayStation. I think it was the first.
Tekken is probably one of the only games that I cared about growing up on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because
It's good. It's a good game.
I don't know why. There was just one period of time where it was just all we ever played. And then come uni, we had it on PSP.
Was that Tekken? What Tekken was that?
I don't know. It was like...
Maybe two
I would say... Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm just sitting here and being like, wait... No, it was like Tekken Dark Resurrection.
No, it wouldn't have been Resurrection. It would have been like Tag Team or something.
No,
Like,
because Tag Team didn't come to... Did it?
PSP?
I'm pretty
I
sure
don't
it
know.
did. Anyway, well, maybe not. I
was
can't
fucking great,
remember.
though. We
We
used to
just
play-
sit in lectures and play Tekken.
It was actually just
We were in a lecture and people were like, so this is the new algorithm we have to learn. And we're just like handing PSPs
That'd be like
in the classroom.
3 levels up.
Just like passing it back.
Your turn now.
I would say it's actually just Tekken 6, by the way.
Tekken 6.
Okay.
Which was it?
Horrorwang for fucking life.
That was fantastic.
Suck my dick.
So-
Heihachi, Master Race. Yeah.
No. Eddie the whole way.
You
That was my
piece
go-to.
of human shit.
That was my go-to.
You literal
Trounced
garbage
everyone.
lord.
Trance everyone by stringing together combos that literally never stop.
Which also tells you the tier of people you're playing with. Like, on the average level, Eddie is just like, oh my god, what? And then when you learn how to play, you're just like, lol, Eddie.
Just counter him.
Yeah,
with
we're
shit.
all just like...
I don't think we cared. We
No,
were just
no.
playing for the shits
I
and
remember
giggles, okay?
one time we were in a lecture, and this was in first year, so it was like, I would say 100 to 150 people in the lecture. So it was like a big... like a
A bigger
stereotypical lecture, if you'd see in the movies, kind of a lecture hall.
Yeah.
And one of our friends, Nelly, got out of his chair to yell at someone because he lost a match, and he realized he'd stood up in the middle of a lecture hall to like point and yell at the dude 3 rows in front of him. Okay, sitting down.
Actually, we should probably calm down a little bit now.
The
settle
lecture's
down.
the lecture didn't realize we were playing until like
After a while, she caught on to it. She was like, "Why come to my lecture if you're just gonna play games?" I'm like, why bother rocking up at all? Anyway,
To be fair, I did this in year 12 already, so like I'm learning nothing.
Hey.
So hand me that fucking PSP.
we're getting carried away here.
Dude, I'm just gonna derail. We had Pokemon tournaments during my TAFE classes, so it's just like, yeah, whatever, cool.
I don't think the lecturers care so much anymore. They're just like, this is you. Like, you're
Well,
not in
that's the
high.
thing.
You're not in
You're
high
not
school
high school.
anymore.
I'm not gonna take your fucking Game Boy off you.
I'm
like,
not responsible for
You
your
fail,
learning.
fuck off.
If you don't learn, this is on you. I've
Yeah.
done my job.
Well, like it's
I'm gonna stay here, say my shit, get paid $400 an hour, and if you fail, see you next semester.
well, also,
Thanks,
are you guys
Marcus.
are you guys okay at passive learning?
As in,
Pull
like,
that name out of
learning
nowhere.
by just being around
Like,
things.
for example, like I can listen to podcasts and books and play a game simultaneously and still digest that information and
Depends
play that.
on the
the
content.
secondary work of what I'm multitasking.
Yeah, I
Depends
think, but
entirely.
it's not a good way for me to learn. Like,
would say.
No.
I'm more of a learn by doing type of
See,
person.
like you
Yeah.
guys never see me when I'm in an equivalent of a lecture because I'm the that really annoying guy who has to do something while he's getting like taught something, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if I don't like have a computer or a notepad or fucking crochet or knitting or anything like that, it drives me up the wall because I can't.
For me, if I'm not actively involved, I fall asleep very, very quickly.
Do you fall asleep in lectures?
I fell asleep in lectures all the goddamn time.
I can just-
Ryan has a picture of me with a pen in my hand, dozing
I remember.
off,
I've
like,
seen-
just like leaning forward and falling asleep. We had one of the worst lectures ever where it was like a 3D modeling and animation class, and it was a 3-hour long
That class
lecture.
was long as fuck.
They would dim the lights.
It was also
and they
in
would
a
be
dark room
in a-
between
yeah.
hours of what is it, like
Like-
4:30 to
It
7:30.
was
So
some
we're just
ridiculous
like,
time. And then
Or
the dude up the front would just be like, and this is how you do this, and then you go to do this, and you click on here, and you move to this, and it's like, and then you need when you want to do this, you go here. Oh wait, nope, that's not quite right. Maybe you do. Nope, that's not quite
what
right.
it was
and I'm just like, this is literally this is made to put you to sleep.
It was like watching someone do a YouTube tutorial, but live before they edit out the parts that they fuck up. So it's just 3 hours of them clicking around and being like, no, that's not how you do that. No, that's how you do that. So when you want to do this, guys,
okay, do it this way.
Click this, and then do this. I'm like, man, I could just watch this on YouTube probably.
I'm also sitting here and I'm going, clearly you guys learnt a lot because I've never seen you guys touch anything in the 3D sphere.
I can show you my 3D work. It's not fucking bad. I did work.
Prove it.
We did reasonable work. I looked back on some of my work recently, and I was just like, man, that was bad.
That's garbage. It's all one polygon.
But it was but so anyway, where was I even going with this story?
I have no idea.
We just kept
falling asleep. I don't know.
So I fall asleep very easily. We played PlayStation, PSP,
Tekken,
the game we played
PlayStation
was
Mini.
Tekken. So we're bringing it right back. The only game I want on this PS Classic is Tekken. I'm glad we got there eventually.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, that's cool. I just want to throw it. Have you guys played an original isometric game on the PlayStation recently with tank controls? Do you guys know about tank controls?
No.
Tank controls is like
so left and right do this.
left and right, like yeah.
Okay.
It's really hard
Then
to
you
explain
run forward
without
and back.
audio
Yeah.
people. I hope you know what
left
tank
and
control.
right do this.
Yeah. So wait,
You got
Bubsy
it.
3D. That's tank
Bubsy
controls,
3D.
right? Yeah, Bubsy 3D.
Oh, okay, no,
The
it makes sense. Tank controls, like you
the
move
original-
like a tank and you can swivel the
Yes.
cannon.
Swivel and yeah.
I would say, and Resident Evil has it, and also a game which I despise with the most blinding of passion, Fifth Element has it as well. Let's just say if the PlayStation Classic has any of these games with those controls,
You're gonna
prepare
suffer
for
with.
a bad time. They have not aged well.
Well, like, so the
course.
thing is, the games they've put up there, the ones that I think I saw people really excited for, okay, so it's Tekken 3, it's Final Fantasy 7, and I think I saw some people...
Wild Arms
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, Wild Arms.
I never actually played that,
I
but
haven't either. But-
It's like...
But I remember, like, when I first started drawing, that was one of the first things that I drew. And so
Dude, Wild
that
Arms is
game
cool.
has a place in my heart because of that. Like, I've never played it, but I love it.
I would say, Ben, you and Carl totally need to, bunker down in a room and plow through Wild Arms sometimes. Because Carl is over the goddamn moon about those games. And I'm like, I don't have, once again, commitment issues. I can't play a JRPG anymore.
Yeah.
There's no,
JRPGs are a tough game to play.
it's just...
Mind you, if I was to get my hands on a good one, I'd probably play it again.
You just tear through it. JRPGs.
Anyway.
Sorry, where were we?
Yeah, I think
Talk shit.
there was I had a fucking thought in my stupid brain for a second there, and I've lost it entirely.
I'll derail.
Squash that thought.
The
Yeah.
other note is, have you seen how fucking ugly early PlayStation 1 games look these days?
Oh, yeah.
They unlike the NES, the SNES, even parts of the N64 library, they have not aged well.
3D games.
Early
3D.
Early 3D games, yeah.
You take that back about Mario 64.
That doesn't look much.
It still looks better
Yeah.
than any early PlayStation game.
I saw
true.
gameplay footage of that yesterday. Though.
Do you know what
And
do you know what the difference
yeah,
is?
I'm playing Mario Kart 8 now.
Do you know what the
Yeah.
difference is? Is because of how realistic they try to make it.
Yeah.
So early 3D games, if they were still being cartoonish and playful
kinda
and
holds
colorful,
up.
it holds up because you're like, this isn't realistic. I don't care. I'm just playing a game. But then when it comes to a lot of the PlayStation games, they're like, oh, this is like cool new technology. Let's push it to the limits. Let's make it as realistic as you possibly
quite
can.
literally feels like
It's
my
just
eyes
horrible.
are getting
You've still got flat
stabbed.
faces.
Yeah.
Everyone still has like
It's
a
just a texture on a polygon. Like,
You know me, I love
cloudface.jpg.
I love
Slap that bitch on.
I love my retro
3D
games.
modeling and animation.
But I cannot play Final Fantasy VII.
It's fucking
Yeah,
great.
no,
It's such a
Because,
good goddamn
like,
game.
look, I try and get over it. but I swear to God, like the
It's
overworld
painful.
sprites look like Lego.
It's painful.
To be honest though, like after playing that, like I kind of like I'm.
You
fine
just
with that.
projected.
You just get used to it.
You just
like,
projected
you do get used to
yourself
it.
onto Cloud.
Yeah.
I want to be the angst.
I am Cloud.
I want belt buckles everywhere.
Speaking of that, like in the new Spider-Man game, I saw a clip where it was just like they did a bit of a throwback to like Spider-Man 2 from the original PlayStation. So if you swim out like way out into the ocean, apparently there was a mission on Spider-Man 2 where you have to save some boats or something like that.
Yep.
And then when you get onto the boats, it's like very flat polygon faces
Yep.
with just textures. And they do the exact same thing in the new Spider-Man game.
Oh,
But it's
really?
not part of a mission, but if you just randomly go
you
out
jump on
there,
those
you
boats.
jump onto a boat, you'll just see like some very basic polygon characters that just like staring bug-eyed at the camera. it's really cool.
But it's funny as well though that like Sony resisted when they were asked about PS1 and PS2 compatibility on the PS4, and the I can't remember who it was. I think it was I want to say it was either the director of marketing or one of the high level Sony people. Basically said, "Oh, you know, people ask us about this all the time. I really don't think we need to like it gets requested a lot, but people don't really use it that much." And I went and I saw at a PlayStation game exhibit that we had, and we had a whole bunch of games from all the way from PS1 and to PS4, and I looked at the PS1 and PS2 games and thought, who would want to even play these games anymore? And now they're like,
Here you go.
PlayStation Classic.
Please
The thing is,
play
it's
the games you
hey,
wanted to play.
They're like, hey, we should shit on these because no one wants to play this, and it saves us time having to do backporting compatibility issue for PS4. And they're like, wait a minute, Nintendo just made a fucking shitload of money selling an emulator.
Emulate.
Okay, we probably better sell ours. We better make ours, right?
Let's
do ours.
The last dumb thing I've learned about PlayStations in the past 24 hours is that, did you know, on a technical level, the PlayStation 3 CPU is more powerful than the PlayStation 4.
That doesn't surprise me, though. That doesn't,
It's like they went all out with the
I would
PlayStation
say
3.
more cores,
Yeah, and they're
more-
like, why did we do that?
more cores, more threads, more power. But because it's fucking cell architecture, which I've ranted out before, no one knows what the fuck to do with it.
And the funny thing is, people still use PlayStation 3s as the poor man's supercomputer.
Yeah.
You've still seen that. People, there's been numerous projects where you hook up, you'd like daisy chain like 200, 500 PS3s together, and you've got like a supercomputer for 1/10 of the price.
Wasn't there a movie that did something like that with like Skynet or something where they're just like
Yeah, they made Skynet. PS3s, that's how they did it.
One of the first iterations of Skynet was just like someone stacking together like a few PS3s.
Hello, David. Fuck.
Dave, what are you doing, Dave?
Throwing back to the whole games not aging well in terms of like early days 3D modeling. I remember a very similar situation, even with the Xbox, the original Xbox.
Some shit don't hold up, man.
I played Jade Empire.
Yeah,
It was
that
one of
has
my
not aged
favorite
well.
games.
I really liked that
It
game
was
when it
so
came out.
good. I loved it. But the thing is, I had a burnt copy, and it just broke at like 3/4 of the way through, and I was loving the crap out of the game. I got so upset I could not finish it. Come 10 years later, you can download it on Xbox One. Downloaded it, and I was just like, oh god.
Sometimes games are left best in the
Just
memory, right?
remember it.
Remember.
But the reason I stuck through with
fuck.
it and played it through was because I was like, I got to such a good point. I wanted
gotta
to
finish
finish
this
the
fucking
story.
game.
So I struggled through, but I was just like, no, this is not what I remember.
I would
This
say-
is
see,
painful.
You should have got it on computer and up the textures and stuff
I-
like that.
Lots of options.
Um,
Anyway,
I have one last thing for like food for thought going forward through the next fortnight before we do our sound off.
Yeah.
I had an argument with Carl the other day. So
As you do.
video games are art, right? Mm-hmm. Are all video games art?
no.
No.
Yeah, see that, and that was the interesting thing. How do you draw the distinction between games as art and games that are shallow, soulless things, but you can have shallow, soulless art as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
can have
I
art
think-
without passion.
So,
that
so
exists.
art is very
Subjective.
right? So that's the simplest way to think about it. It is
But
a
you
matter
can't,
of going.
You can't tell me that the $3 game on Steam that someone did an asset flip on is art.
I'd say. But
Yeah, no.
can you
It-
tell, is Bubsy 3D art? So I bet someone poured their heart and soul into
No,
that,
if
but they
someone put-
just didn't
it
have
could be-
anything there.
If art can be
They just had an
bad. That's the
empty
thing, though.
soul.
Art isn't some lofty term to be like, oh, it's art. So
fancy, it's
good.
gonna cost a lot of money.
It means
No.
someone had a thought, had a vision,
creative thought.
poured effort into it to build something, and the result is an expression of, like, to me, art is anything that is like a window to the person that made it.
Yeah.
And is an expression of the person that made it. A soulless cash grab isn't art.
So if you, and again, it comes down to it being subjective. If you were to ask me, I'd be like, all the Call of Duties, wouldn't call it art. Maybe
Well,
early stages.
I was going to say, some of them actually are.
Early stages, but at this point where you've got the Black Ops 2,
You're
Black
like,
Ops
we got to
3,
get a new game out. We
Black
got to get
Ops
a new
20,
game out.
I'm just like, that's not art. I'm personally not going to consider it as art. But if someone else wants to, that's their business. But then if you've got the likes of Inside or something like that, absolutely.
But
It's
the-
100%.
and the
art to
hard
me.
thing is, well, there's people that might be like, that go to Black Ops, get the job for scoring the game for Black Ops, and they're like, I'm going to put my heart and soul into the soundtrack of this thing. I'm going to make sure, like, this is scored really well, and you can get the emotion from the player when things happen and all this kind of stuff. You would consider that art,
Yeah.
but, like, is the game
But then
itself,
that's
like,
one aspect of it, right?
I don't know.
it's-
Like the difference, because the game is made up of so many parts, like movies and whole other things as well.
And a very fun one I like doing. So, you know, shameless movie tie-ins for games.
Yes.
Have you ever played one of those that you've considered art?
Wait, explain
That's
that
the
again.
thing.
Shameless movie tie-ins
Interestingly
for games.
enough, I can't remember immediately, because my favorite movie tie-in game is
Spider-Man
2.
And you can tell with Spider-Man 2, someone
gave
put
a shit.
love and
Someone
effort
was
into
like,
that.
let's
I
really
can't-
fucking make this game
I
good.
can't remember his name. It's basically the dude stayed in the office for like 24 plus hours just to get the web physics working.
Yeah.
For a demo to the high ups, and they were like, "Yeah, that's pretty
This is
good."
good.
So I don't know whether, again, the thing is though, that was also, that game only exists because Sony's like, fuck, the movie did really well.
That's
Yeah,
So game,
passion.
like,
Yeah.
that comes from immediately from a place of,
Yeah, so
not, because the thing is,
No.
like, that dude that spent all that time making the web physics, you would say he would be like an artist, because he poured effort and time
Yeah.
to making a thing.
So-
But in saying that though, like, there was no creative vision behind it. It's just like, let's make a Spider-Man game because the movie came out.
But that's not to say, like, let's say for example, someone commissions an artist, like a painter,
Yeah.
just because it was just like, if I just want something nice on my wall. That's
I
not
want
really
you
an artistic.
to draw me a
You-
portrait of Batman's penis. Go on.
Yeah, but then if I'm the artist that's drawing Batman's penis, I can be like, all right, I will do this in such a way that it is meaningful, it is creative.
Just
it
gotta
is-
give him some extra pubes.
I'd say, gotta make them pop.
Get that shading just right, so you see the bulges in just the right places.
in tasteful bold.
I would say
Tasteful bold.
tonage. You have to make sure
that would still be art because someone
be.
has
a
actively
vision
put some
behind something.
effort.
You've heard it here first, people. Batman's penis.
This is art.
It's also very difficult in big projects where it's like a lot of people working on something where this is a lot of times is, it's not like, if there's a visionary like ahead of the thing, then like you see a lot of games that are like heavily classified as art. Like I remember last year's like
Inside.
God, yeah, like Inside, like
I
the
would
Play Dead
also argue
games.
this year, God of War. Also going back, I would argue Ori and the Blind
I'm
Forest.
trying. Is it What Remains?
Of Edith Finch.
Yes, What Remains of Edith Finch.
Which I did not touch with the 10-foot pole. Firewatch as
but
well.
like a lot of those are small teams with a direct vision, and sometimes
But-
even one or two creators.
Like I said,
and
someone
that's
want-
much more of an artistic thing, because it's famously said that art is a dictatorship, and that's kind of like
That's the case.
that one person is driving that thing.
Yeah.
When you've got like Spider-Man 2 the game, everyone, like, there's a lot of talented people that want to do the best and their best creative output for the project, but it's hard to call it art because there's no real creative
driven
project.
by money.
Because it also feels like a lot of the things in games like these is designed by a committee. Like, a bunch of people sat down and said, okay, cool, what do we want to do with the web physics?
Yeah.
What do we want to do with this? What do we want to do with that?
So-
and it's not like one person being like, no, my
is
vision
how-
of Spider-Man is this,
Yeah.
and this is what we need to do, and...
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. The director needs to have an absolute vision to produce something.
Yeah.
Much like a movie. And there's no argument. Some movies are considered art.
Absolutely.
But most of the time, it's when like Kubrick's like, no, fuck you, we're shooting again until it's like what I want in my mind.
800 more takes, please. That man is not a good man.
That
Great
dude,
filmmaker, not a good dude.
it would have been cheaper to actually land on the moon.
Okay, so that was an odd, random little piece of tangent that... Thank you for that.
I have to say, look, I know, I'm actually insightful at
For
times.
more
It's
conversations
terrifying.
like that, they happen all the time on Discord.
Hey,
Yes.
like I said earlier, we fixed Pokemon. Blockchain.
We did.
It's the answer.
We blockchained Pokemon, everyone.
Oh, please don't. Blockchain is everything now. Like, literally...
blockchain,
No.
blockchain.
We were talking about...
Bitconnect!
Bitconnect! No.
We hear that all. The joke is that we, as IT people, we hear that all
I'm not
the
even
time.
kidding. I literally had a
All the
conversation
fucking time.
yesterday about blockchain being applied to the concrete industry. I'm like,
Why?
But Bin, please, just listen to this pitch. You want to
blockchain.
stop hacking Pokemon? You make each Pokemon with all its stat distribution and moveset have a unique identifier. Blockchain!
anyway, sorry guys. I'm sorry to
Cancerous.
put this on you guys. Just ignore this last 2 minutes of conversation. And I'll slap Ben after this, I promise. Anyway, we are going to start wrapping this up. We've been going for about an hour now. Any recommendations to leave our
I
peeps
will
with?
actually raise this to a more specific one. What PlayStation games would you recommend for the ongoing Fortnite?
PlayStation, like as in any...
PlayStation 1.
Oh, PlayStation
Original
1.
games that you liked.
Oh, actually, I lied about Tekken being the only one. There was a JRPG. I can't quite remember the name of it. Well, I did like Final Fantasy.
You also liked Chrono Cross on that console.
No, I didn't. I never
Eight.
really played.
Play
I thought you
Eight.
played... Oh, 8's... Well, okay.
Eight's a mixed bag.
Wait,
People don't
no,
like
no,
eight.
no.
You like 9.
Nine.
Yes.
Nine's the one that I really
like
like.
8 because it's a broken, flawed game that needs a lot of work. But
9 I really like.
play FF9, it's
Yes,
worth it.
that's
And I like FF7
Fun.
because I'm right.
I like FF7 because I'm a pop culture trash.
But there was another one. I can't remember. I'll throw it up on Discord when I remember. But there's definitely a few good PlayStation 1 games.
Cool. All right.
Your recommendation?
He just
Adam?
said
You're
Final
just
Fantasy
FF7.
VII. Let's
So
go with it.
I have cliff notes from our other people on the channel. Carl wants you to play Wild Arms,
Wild Arms, yep.
Wild Arms.
and Ryan wants you to play Tombi.
Okay.
Yeah, which...
It's a very Ryan game.
Which gets a mixed reaction from the crowd.
no, Tombi is... I think you would actually like Tombi, Ben, but we'll get there. And I'm going to suggest something slightly left field because I am me and this is what I do. And I want to say Metal Gear Solid
Okay.
or Dino Crisis.
Actually, there's one game that I really loved on PlayStation 1 that I don't think... It wasn't like a big game or anything, but it's like a pilot game. It's called G-Police, if you've ever played it.
I've heard of it. I haven't
game.
played it.
Isn't it a
Fucking
rhythm?
Oh,
It's a
no.
rhythm
Okay,
game, isn't it?
No.
I might be thinking
it's
Beat Police.
it's like a helicopter game, and you actually
You're
like...
shooting out of the helicopter.
And you're like the police force, but like you're chasing down like... You kill people.
You're
You're
blowing up
It's
cars.
in a Judge Dredd era kind of techno world living in domes.
Also, Die Hard Trilogy.
Okay, I think we're getting a little carried
Anyway,
away now because I'm
Jeep-
going to add another one.
G-Police!
Freaking Breath of Fire. There's a couple of Breath of Fires on there that were just fantastic. I'm a big fan of the Breath of Fire
I was
series.
gonna say, look, guys, if you do want PlayStation 1 selections, particularly for JRPGs, hit us up in the Discord because we all have a list like 3 miles
It
long.
just keeps going. The more we
Because-
think about it, it's like, oh wait, there's another
Yeah.
one. Oh wait, oh shit.
Because, like, I mean, we've glazed over like Vagrant Story, FF Tactics.
What about Medieval?
Actually, Medieval's not bad. I thought that was bait for a second. I had to digest
like,
it.
wait.
It's not bad.
Yes.
Yes, acceptable. So,
Okay.
Acceptable game.
let's wrap it up. Any leaving recommendations, or are we good here?
Watch the Captain Marvel trailer.
Ooh, yeah, I saw that. That was pretty. Okay, so once again, thank you very much for tuning in. We really love your patronage. Check out our other stuff on YouTube. Any other of our podcasts that you may have missed, it's all there. We've said it a couple of times. Jump onto Discord. Get involved with our conversations. Let us know if there's any particular games you want us to play, talk about, anything at all. It's not limited to games either. We talk pop culture, we talk memes, we talk Batman's penis. It's all sorts of things for your lovely listening pleasure. Yeah, I think we can wrap it up there.
So much penis.
Adam, I want you to superimpose Batman schlong over my face.
The whole time. Like, we never see his face this whole podcast.
No. Every time I open my mouth, Bat Dick comes out.
All right.
It's like Alien's second mouth. Just...
No.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will catch you all later. Bye.
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 Huh.